What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. It's Monday, so we got to get to that Monday market watch. And to be honest, I've been talking about the same cards for the past pretty much week and a half. So this is probably gonna be. I might release 3 market watches this week simply because I want to get kind of get off like some of these cards, but they just been moving in so many directions that I kind of had no choice but to cover all of them. So if you like what we do, please feel like subscribe. If not, it is all cool. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. Leave a comment down below if you kind of have a question or have a cool comment. If not, it's all good. Let's go ahead and get into the cards. Low the pairs of the Voiceless Voice has just skyrocketed. Initially, I kind of mentioned that if the Voiceless Voice and the Goblins don't, well, it doesn't have to be both, it could be either or, but if both of them don't take off this deck, this set's going to be very top heavy. But it's looking like the Voiceless Voice are actually going to be a pretty decent contender for in this kind of crazy format, this tier 0. I don't know about tier, I mean, maybe like tier 0.5, because the Fire Kings are very strong, but like I said, there's going to be a lot of different contenders in this format. So I really feel like we're going to be very close to it, but at the same time, we got to see the results of some of the first tournaments that that are going to get at the end of this month. $81 for low, right? Initially, I was going to sell this kind of when it was low in the 50s. I'm glad that the deal kind of fell through and then didn't happen. I ended up being able to kind of get rid of mine, but I did get rid of it when it was kind of closer to 70, and it's gone up even higher. I thought that this card was going to kind of top out at 70, but like I said, people are figuring out combos, they're figuring out different ways to run this card, and we're looking at $81 for low. So if you're buying boxes and you get yourself a low, this is a really, really good hit. Saphira, the Dragon Queen of the Voiceless Voice, this is kind of one of the more, one of the more expensive ultra rares, that they kind of got to get. We're looking at about $12 for this card. And like I said, there's a lot of searching, a lot of synergy. So this stuff is extremely recursive and strong. I really do. Like I said, I'm not 100% kind of familiar with everything, but I'm looking at end boards. I'm looking through combos, and I am liking. I do like what I see, and I hope that it does form. You got the Skull Guardian Protect the Voiceless Voice. This stuff right here was kind of hovering around the $11. Then it went around. It was kind of hovering around 11, and then it kind of went down to 10 to the 3 to the 5s, and then it kind of settled around 3. I kind of said it was going to settle around the $3 kind of $4 range. I kind of thought that the Saphira was going to go down a little bit lower, but the Saphira is kind of staying up there around 12. So this one is, like I said, you get these right here for about $304, $350. Kind of closer to about $4. So if someone's willing to do, depending on how many you need, if you want a set, they can do the set for $11-12. That would kind of really be a decent price right there. You also got Saphira, Queen of Dragons, just a regular one. I actually was going through my stuff, and I did find a ultimate rare version right here. I'm just gonna check it out, because to be honest, it's probably this one. Yeah, this is actually not that bad. I would say this is light. I got a light play first edition ultimate rare version right here. So those are actually those are actually kind of really high. We'll probably go over that in a different video. But Saphira, the Queen of Dragons, we're looking here, the ultra right here from the mega pack, we're looking, it's about $9. That's the price right here. Let's see where we're looking at. Yeah, light play first edition, we're about 9. Near mint first ed, 869. Near mint first ed, 999. So we're looking at about $10 for this version of Saphira. This one is the version for the 10s. Let's see where the Duelist Alliance one. The one from the Duelist Alliance is kind of going a little bit crazier. You got the light play first ed for about $940 with the shipping included. Then we got a light played first ed $841 with the $1. So we're looking at around the same price. So you're pretty much paying about $9. If you get the mega packs, about $9. If you get the original, it's $10. And yep, that's kind of pretty much what what we're looking at right there. Let's see Saphira. Oh, that's wrong. Let's see, yeah, here we go. Let's just do this real quick. I just want to see what we're looking at here with Ultimate Rare. So we got the Ultimate Rare version of this card, and we're looking at a heavily played first at 18, near mint, unlimited for about 20. Okay, so we're looking pretty much double the price. If you have a near mint unlimited, we're looking about double the price. Light played first edition about 22, 23. So you're pretty much looking about $20 to $25 for this card if you have a light plate version. The problem near mints are going to be going a little bit crazier, but if you're able to kind of I'm not saying it's super easy, but there's a lot of these pulled, because this was one of the bad ultimate rares to pull out of this set, so a lot of people would kind of just put them to the side. No one would care about them, and I don't know, you might look through your stuff and you might kind of just have one of these laying around. Promethean Princess is I know I don't want to talk about a lot of these cards, but they're starting to move. Promethean Princess is looking like it's gonna stick around the $40 range. it was all the way up here at about 75, and then it just done nothing but come down. But right here we're looking at about like 39, $1 shipping, 40 with the $1 shipping, 41. I really do feel like 35 to 45 should be that range. I initially said 45 was going to be the range, but like I said, it's looking like there's so many different variants of like there's so many different versions of like the Fire King Snake Eye deck you could run, depending on what ratios you're using, what you're trying to do. You don't always need 2 copies or even 3 copies. You usually kind of only need the 1, or maybe you need 2. So I think that's going to start kind of like showing off in the price, to where maybe it's kind of slowly going to creep down to about the $35 range. So I guess initially I was about $10 off. I think it's probably going to go a little bit lower, but at the same time, like I said, we don't know that. We got to see our results in the tournaments that are going to be coming up pretty soon. So finally, coming off some of the cards from Phantom Nightmare is Transaction Rollback. Talking about Maze of Millennia. Of course, this is not too much, like really that much older. I actually started to kind of look at more alternate things we could run in this format, and I'm like, you know what, I really want to start working with Labyrinth more. I do have a Labyrinth core. I see a lot of potential in the deck, especially because I'm reading through the cards, and it's like a lot of these are like extended hand traps, to where you could, where like even though you're opening yourself up to like being able to be hit by Triple Tactics Talent and Thrust and all these other things, you still have the ability to set up extremely good and oppressive cards. And I'm looking at Transaction Rollback right now because that's one of the big heavy hitters, and it's still holding that $30 kind of price point. I did initially say I was kind of, it was gonna be around like the $30-$35, and I'm looking at it right here. We got 2 copies for $30, but once these 2 are gone, it's right here at 35. This guy has one at like 35 plus with like once he has the shipping. So once these 2 are gone, we're looking at about $35 for Transaction Rollback. So I would go ahead and get this sooner rather than later, because I really feel like it's gonna be it's probably gonna be where like Snake Eye Ash, where like the Snake Eye Ash Fire King deck is gonna be the clear best deck, but Labyrinth and Voiceless Voice are probably gonna be right there behind it, and there's gonna be so many other tier 1.5 / rogue options there. I really feel like this is going to be obviously there's going to be a top dog, but it's going to be a very diverse meta, and I do feel like a deck like Labyrinth, which could essentially run so many different outs to different things and run so many different ways, I do feel like this has a huge opportunity to be one of those top dogs. Arius the Labyrinth Butler, I really don't see card like this getting reprinted also until we get the Mega Tin. So if Konami, the research and development team is kind of, already, have it in their heads that like, okay, like players are gonna eventually figure out that like this is one of like one of the top dog decks, you feel me? Like I really do feel like this could shoot up. It could potentially double in price, especially if we see a lot of people kind of on it. I know initially in its initial spike, a couple of I would say maybe like about a month and a half ago, its initial spike, maybe not a month ago, maybe I would say 3 to 5 weeks ago, maybe not a month and a half, maybe like 3 to 5 weeks ago. This was kind of going over there into that $30 range, but right now you can pick them up for about $14. Yeah, like this one here is 14. This one is 13 with the $1 shipping. So we are looking about like that $13 to $14 range, and I really do feel like at any point these could kind of go to 20, and then I know we're back to 25. And if Labyrinth does become one of those like really like one of those like hard counters to like the Fire King deck, then I do feel like these could right here hit 30 and then kind of stay around that range until they get their reprint, potentially in the 10. So if you're thinking about Labyrinth and you're on the fence, I would go on it now before it potentially starts to shoot up. Big Welcome Labyrinth is another card that earlier had a huge spike. These were going almost $35, $38. Actually, I picked them up when they were when they were about 23, so like right before this spike. I was gonna sell them, but then I decided last second just to hold on to them and see how things were going. A part of me kind of regrets it because I feel like, oh, maybe I should have capitalized on the money. But now that I'm looking at it, it's like, you know what? This does have potential. Labyrinth could run. It could potentially run 9 hand traps. One of those hand traps also works as synergy in their engine. On top of that, you have ways to put your to use your regular Labyrinth cards on your opponent's turn, essentially turn 0, to set up some of your traps, and some of these traps could put your opponent in a position where they are not playing the game anymore. So like I said, depending on how things are going, it's a little bit of luck, but that's kind of how Yu-Gi-Oh is. I do feel like I said, this one could kind of shoot back into the $30 range if you don't pay attention. But right now, you get them right here for about $17.95, like pretty much like $18. But like I said, these are one of those candidates that easily could kind of shoot back into like the $20, $25, $30 range at any point. And then the last thing I kind of want to go over is just kind of some like a little bit more expensive, because like I said, these are kind of like the really heavy hitting cards, and everything else is extremely cheap. So if you kind of want to go in and play a deck where you kind of want to build the entire main core for under, I would say like maybe like under $100, because like I said, if you could find someone to be able to get you, because like a lot of this stuff could be purchased for under $100, so like you could even just build a basic budget version of this for around that price. And like I said, if you want to add the transaction rollbacks, you're still looking at under $200 to build this deck competitively. So I really do feel like Labyrinth is like really good. So you got the Arianas here for 150, the regular Welcomes at 175, the supers at 175, but these, you know, like I said, these all came in like rares and reprinted, so like a lot of them are even lower than these prices right here. So that's just kind of like my PSA. If you want to run Labyrinth, I would get some of these, like at least get these ones, or not these ones, at least get like these ones right here sooner rather than later before they go up. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.